Hello, beautiful soul. Welcome. My name is Taylor. I'm your guide for today's practice, and it's some yin yoga to go inward. You definitely need one block for today's practice. Two is recommended to have nearby. When you have those together, I'll see you on the mat to get started. We'll begin today in child's pose using one block. If you have another block, you can have it placed about midway down your mat. Come to place your first block just underneath your forehead. You can use, I recommend, the lowest or the second height. You want to have some stability here. And knees, thighs can be as close or far apart as feels good. Don't be shy to make space for your belly and your deep breathing. Rest your forehead onto the block and extend your arms out long by your sides. Begin to draw your attention inward by deepening your breath. Using each inhale to fill your entire body with new energy, new thoughts. And use each exhale as a release. Notice what it feels like to begin to slow down, to come to stillness, and to focus on your breath. Shoulders may grow heavier towards the mat as you open through the backside of your body. Sit bones gradually lengthen towards the heels with time. As you give yourself the time and space to open mindfully by focusing on what's going on inside. Five more deep breaths here. Your next exhale, bring your hands underneath your shoulders. Push into the mat as you slowly lift your upper body, your head off the block, and your legs. Block can move towards the side as you come forward onto hands and knees. Maybe tap the tops of your feet out or bring some circles into your ankles. Wake up your feet. We'll come to sit back on our heels once again as we journey into saddle. You can always use a block to sit on between your thighs if this feels better, or if it's within your ability depending on your flexibility and joint structure. You can allow your heels to come out to the sides and sit back onto your hip bones. If you're feeling anything in your knees, come out. Whatever option you choose, we'll begin to walk our hands backwards as we extend our tailbones towards the front of the mat. This may be a gentle tuck. Your hands can come flat on the mat beneath you. You can also use blocks underneath your hands, or you may journey down onto your elbows if this feels comfortable. Or once again, if your body allows you to, you can come to lie flat on your back as well. Neither option is better or worse. They're all doing the same thing for us energetically, physically. And if you find this pose tough, if you've found your edge, that space where you're noticing it's uncomfortable but willing to sit in it, you can use your breath as you inhale. Feel it move into the crown of your head as it journeys down the center of your body towards your pelvic floor, your tailbone. On an exhale, the breath moves back out the body in the opposite direction. And know that if at any point, if anything becomes too much, if there's pinching or pain, please remove yourself slowly from the pose. Take a more gentle variation for your body today. We'll take 5 more deep breaths here. Allowing yourself to journey into the fullest expression of this pose for you today. And on your next inhale, hands come back underneath you. Slowly help yourself back up. Stiffness here is completely normal. We'll come to rest once our shoulders come to restack over hips. Each vertebra in line as our spine is long. Hands come in front of you, back onto all fours. Tuck your toes and option to lift back into downward facing dog, moving some energy, some chi back into your body. Taking any movement with your legs, like pedaling your feet out if that feels nice. And then come to bring your knees back onto the mat. Keep your toes tucked. Sit bones journey towards your heels as your hands walk towards your knees. If this is already feeling like a good stretch in your toes and the bottoms of your feet already, keep your hands here on the mat. Or you can continue the journey walking your hands up onto your thighs. You can have your hands wherever you'd like on your thighs, as close or as far from your knees on the mat. Find your edge here. And then I invite you to close your eyes and journey inwards. Really focusing on the sensations of this pose, but also what thoughts, feelings, tension this pose can bring up as we settle into stillness here in toe squat. And you can use the same breath that we used in the last pose. Inhaling, the breath enters through the crown and moves down towards the base of spine. Exhale, the breath journeys back out. We'll take 5 more deep breaths here. On your final exhale, hands release down to the mat. Walk away from your knees as you untuck your toes and gently tap the tops of your feet onto the mat. Come to tuck your toes once more as you lift your knees and walk your hands back towards your toes. Heels can plant onto the mat this time. Maybe you move some props out of the way as we land in forward fold. Generously bend your knees here, so much so that your upper body completely drapes over your lower. An option to keep fingertips on the mat or grab hold of your elbows with your hands. Let the crown of your head grow heavy towards the mat, perhaps releasing a touch closer with each exhale. Five more deep breaths here. Breathe into the back side of your body, creating space between each vertebra. Release your hands to the mat, and we'll walk our feet out so they come wide, usually about mat width distance, with your feet slightly pointed out. You may want a block or two here. As we settle our hips down, sit bones towards the mat into Shavasana. Even if you have the flexibility and comfort of landing here in yogi squat, I still recommend having a block or two underneath you. This avoids us hanging out in our joints and gives our bones some structure and support. Hands come to your heart center, and then gently push your elbows into your inner thighs. Use this to help lengthen your spine. Crown and tailbone move away from each other. And if this doesn't feel great, you can come onto your back and hold onto your shins or the edges of your feet and happy baby. Wherever you're at, we all lengthen our spines as we open up the channels in our body, the energy centers, by creating long, clear lines for the energy to move, creating space physically with our anatomy, our bones, muscles, and space mentally as well for us to explore our inner world. Shoulders drape away from the ears. Any tension in the body releases with each exhale. Five more breaths here. On exhale, hands come down in front of you. Lift yourself up, release your legs if you're in happy baby. And we'll all journey onto our backs, coming down to sit. I recommend placing blocks, if you have them, underneath your knees. And we'll all lean back into our final relaxation pose, Shavasana. Palms can shine up towards the sky, or if you're feeling you want a bit more connection to go inward, even more, bring your hands onto your body, wherever you feel naturally called to allow them to land. Notice how you feel in this moment. What it's like to have support and to surrender into stillness. How your thoughts are behaving or changing. And how present you feel here with your breath. Gently begin to wiggle your fingers and your toes. Bring movement into your wrists and ankles. And on a deep inhale, reach your toes and fingertips in opposite directions. Exhale to release. Knees come in towards your chest. And roll over towards your right hand side, landing in fetal position. Take as long as you need here. And when you're ready, push yourself up into a comfortable seat. We'll meet with our hands in prayer at our heart centers. And bow your head so your third eye meets your fingertips. And thank yourself for showing up on the mat today, for doing this act of self-love for your mind, body, and your soul. Bring your head back up. May you feel kind words. May you speak kind words. May you think kind words. Together, we bow forward and say thank you. Thank you so much for joining me on the mat today and for showing up for yourself. I hope you feel incredible, and if you do, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you on the mat again soon.